Hello, Internet. My name is Zero. This is Cooking Companions, Episode 2. I'm sorry, I've been listening to this shit for a while. Wait, what? Oh my god, I just came up with a fucking theory for this. Excuse my language, but oh my god. Are we all dead? Okay, so that happened. Okay. So this whole time, okay, I set up everything so that I could record in a bit, and I went to go, get dressed for this, because I was, by the way, I'm sick with COVID, so I may not upload as much. Gonna try and rest, gonna try not to scream my heart out. But, oh my god, I forgot where I was going with this. Alright, so I left the computer, came back a few minutes later, and as I stepped back into the room, I could hear someone saying, "Help me, help us, she's coming." I was like, who the frick is in my room? I got so scared. I proceeded with caution into the room, then finally listened to the headphones, and this game was being creepy as all heck. Where's my mouse? There it is. Hold on. Okay, so last we left off talking to Gregor, who's scared crapless, apparently. Okay, so what happened last time? Everyone went to bed a little hungry. That's what happened. But hearing that audio gave me a theory. I think I'm just reliving the hell of when I went with these friends of mine, these very close friends of mine, basically frontiering, and we weren't able to survive because nature was not merciful to us. We weren't able to get food. We refused to hunt deer because it would have been too hard. We didn't get any fish. We basically did not stock up well. We did not survive. So I think I'm reliving everything that's happening to me, or that happened to us, and I'm assuming I'm gonna watch everybody die before I do. Oh god, I'm just adding more to a story that I don't know about. Oh my god, I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Wake up. Sorry, you were making strange noises in your sleep. What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you? It woke me up. Try to fall back asleep, but it's so loud. Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Everyone nods in agreement and gets back to bed. Last thing that happened, I remember I saw something. Except for you. You can't fall back asleep. You still have goosebumps from the nightmare. Karen's snoring is louder than a sawmill. You find it very loud and very distracting. You don't sleep a wink. Everyone is now up and awake in the cabin. You hear the front door open quickly and slam shut. Anatoly sounds petrified. I looked out the door. We're completely surrounded by flood water. Looks like sailors take warning was more appropriate for today. Maria is just silent. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow. You can't steal big guy's optimism, Karen. Why the hell not? That's all he has going for him. That sounds more like Karen. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Knock it off, you two. Maria, do you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance of clearing up tomorrow. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read a book on local precipitation levels for the last 20 years in the living. Oh, okay. So the book has just charted down precipitation levels for the past 20 years. Sounds like you're stealing Anatoly's thunder. Anatoly, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it? Couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? Yes. That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural science. Why let them sit gathering dust? How did you arrive at 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of the year, multiply it by the factor of... Maria begins explaining meteorology to you. I'm gonna say a girl who can make me feel dumb, that's attractive. She isn't dumbing any of this down. Good. I want to feel stupid. It's similar to... Oh, shit. I said I wanted to feel stupid. Not like a common rock. So the first thing you need to understand... Minutes of explanation felt like hours. Oh my god. You look over at Anatoly. He's listening intently to Maria. So intently, he hasn't blinked yet? Dude, blink! Also, my throat's a little sore, because, yeah, me being sick. You can see his eyes drying up. Oh, dude. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Maria finally wraps up her lecture. She ends with a bow. Nobody claps. Did my light just flicker? I'm gonna put you on silent. Alright. First the creepy whispers, now my light flickers like once. I don't know how good the quality of my video is gonna be. I need to rewatch these videos once they're done. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Maria, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. I didn't understand a word of it. Oh, I freaking love Gregor. Oh my god, it's just how everything goes over his head like that. Yeah. And it's how he turns to you. Anyways, there's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin unless these floodwaters stop. I know our food situation is a little tight, but I know you'll make the right decision. I believe in you. Me too. Looks like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and raspberry jam. I'll pass on the jam. Just give me more crusty bread. Everyone laughs, except for you. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak in out to the kitchen while everyone's still talking. You get out some crusty bread and get to work making some more jam. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check on the chompettes.
Hello!
Don't worry, as leader of the chompettes, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us.
Onion!
That big guy would try eating me like an apple, so definitely don't tell him about us. Are your plans going awry? Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread maker's bakery burning down? No? His business is now toast. That one's been done to death. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced? You tell her no.
Raspberry!
Raspberry, milk, shake. You let out an audible groan. Did cornbread teach you that one? Nope. Wasted an entire day thinking about that terrible pun. Why is Potato the only one that seems to get that I'm in a bad situation? Ha ha ha. It was well worth the time and effort, Raspberry. Maybe you'll win an annual Chompette comedy competition this year.
Raspberry!
Of course.
Onion!
Not while I'm here. I won't choke on stage this year. Isn't this every year bread? Isn't that every year bread? We still talk about that closing line, bread. You're going to do great this year. Anyways, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Chompettes stick together through thick and thin.
Raspberry!
Rain and shine. Feast and famine. Ditto, I swear to God, repeat the line or we're locking you up again. Hey, yo, what? Life or death. That's right. I'm starting not to trust these little guys. Chompettes? Move out. No, you get the fuck back here. Are you guys demons? Are you guys like little imps or something? The Chompettes somehow manage to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. Oh, please everybody still be there. Karen interrupts you as you bring the food. Took you long enough. Karen looks at the 2 slices of bread left and the mason jar of raspberry jam. There's mold on these 2 slices of bread. Karen is right. What the hell is the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand. You think this is enough for for 5 of us? Wait. We can't throw this bread away. It's all we have left. Gregor's right. Anatoly, will mold spores give us food poisoning? No scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave with the floodwaters, so this will have to last us another day. Everyone grimly nods, ripping apart the pieces like a pack of wolves. Gregor seems to unhinge his jaw and eat it in one bite. He looks like a duck eating bread. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than we had when we left Ukraine. Oh no. Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we won't die of dehydration. But until the rainstorm is over, nobody should leave the cabin. Should clear up if we give it a chance. Anatoly, where are you getting that information from? One of the books on the bookshelf about the climate here. You're illiterate, so that's definitely a lie. I've seen him reading. Little guy's been studying. I'm serious. He pretends to read those books because he wants us to think he's smart. But I can tell he's just staring at the page, faking it. What do you think? What do you think? So he doesn't know his weather conditions from a hole in the ground. Karen is correct. And read, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. You must be going blind then. Thanks. I don't know why Karen would make something up like that about me. You aren't fooling anyone, Anatoly. They're all Ukrainian. Karen has stormed off. Thanks for backing me up. The relationship is stronger. Good to have someone so positive around. Anatoly looks relieved. You think he'll remember that? I guess let's call it a day. Yeah, sure. How long have I been? 18 minutes. Everyone shuffles off to their sleeping areas. 10 minutes later. Hey. Karen likes to find somebody's weakness and use it against them when she's frustrated. Just wanted to thank you for backing me up earlier. You're very sweet to do that. Anatoly looks at you with a look of admiration. Heh. See you tomorrow. Anatoly looks like he's blushing as he walks away. You're definitely sure Anatoly will remember that. So, as far as I can tell, my relationship with Gregor, Maria, and Anatoly have now improved. Oh god, what creepy dream am I gonna have tonight? You get ready for bed and put a blanket on. You go to bed very hungry. Okay, I'm not blinking. You don't dream the entire night, but you sleep through everyone waking up. Okay, no creepy ass dream. And that's how fast a deer can run if startled. Wow. Incredible. Impressive. I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal. No. It's only for one day. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history. That doesn't make us feel any better, Anatoly. What options do we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly. Anatoly leaves mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. Everyone goes to a separate area. Karen in the bedroom, Gregor in the living room, Maria in the kitchen, and Anatoly in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? I have not improved my situation with Karen. Gregor verse with Anatoly. Speak with Karen. She looks like she's just slicing away a block of wood. Hey, can I let you in on a secret? I've actually enjoyed your cooking so far. The others expect me to be rude and mean, so I have to keep up this reputation. So I have to keep that reputation up, right? Can't have anyone thinking I'm soft. You're not sure where this is coming from. Promise me you'll give me some cooking lessons soon. Okay? Wait. She's not ready yet, but you nod politely. Thank you. You're definitely sure Karen will remember that. Okay, my relationship with Karen has now improved. Okay, that's good. Keeping things balanced. You leave Karen by herself. Everyone looks pretty down this evening. Wish the rain would just stop. We're all doing great. We must be almost at the end of this nightmare. Wait, Gregor looks skinny as hell. I'm so hungry. Me too. You are too. You wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. Gregor looks skinny, what the heck? You go to bed with a growling stomach. You have a strange dream. A boy yelling at you in the kitchen. Okay, something's gonna pop up. You keep telling him to lie down on the tray. But he keeps shaking his head, calling you names. So you do it. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. You show him how it's done. His anger turns to courage, and he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him snaring back at you. You wake in a cold sweat. Oh my fucking... I saw that shit. That was creepy. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms, and legs. Maria looks petrified. I couldn't sleep. Anatoly has bags under his eyes. The storm is too loud. Karen looks out of it. The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. Gregor looks a little gaunt. I got a good look out the window. And couldn't see anything due to the rain. Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night. I kept pacing around my bed. Karen turns to you. When is this going to end? I checked outside the door again. Floodwaters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're going to need to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater. As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town? I don't know. Didn't you have a map on you? I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Hahaha. Maria and Anatoly go white as a sheet. How are you going to find our way back now? How are we going to find our way back now? We'll have to ride out the storm. Maria looks at you. We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating. The group stares at you. It will clear up in no time. Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. You can tell Gregor's putting on fake optimism, and Maria is having trouble. Which one do you speak to? Which one do you speak to with today? It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it? You explain to Maria how the size of a person and fat content determine how warm they are naturally. Yeah. Wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career? Maria does her best Gregor impression. Split firewood for and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming and chatting with me. Maria blushes a little. You make it easier to pass the time. Thank you. You're pretty sure Maria will remember that. And my relationship strengthens. Great. You thank her and leave the bedroom. Call everyone together They all look grim. Why is Gregor looking so fine? We call everyone together, they all look grim. You could cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. You bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off of it. You instruct everyone to take a pinch. And slowly all 5 of you tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karen is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. Anatoly chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Maria nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. It was gone in an instant. Don't tell me we're gonna end up doing something like a Wendigo. Is it Wendigo? I think it's a Wendigo. The group thanks you awkwardly. It's not much, but you've run out your options. You wish everyone good night and get ready for bed. You go to bed starving. Oh God. Good morning. Wait. Morning. Let me check if the rain has stopped. It's still flooding. What are we going to do? Humans can survive up to 2 to 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. Rain should end in a day or 2, right? Actually, precipitation can occur more than 215 days a year here. Do you really think it will rain that long? Anatoly. It's been days already. What makes you think it will stop soon? Hey. Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow. Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared. But you need to survive. Karen and Gregor begin to discuss next options. Do you want to speak with Maria in the kitchen or Anatoly in the living room? Think instead about everything you've done wrong and how you've doomed everyone. I must speak to Anatoly. Anatoly's still paging through the book. Hey. You really should have been more careful with our emergency supplies. What were you thinking? Sorry, Anatoly. Apology accepted. Who could have predicted this much rain? You're sweet as pound cake. Thank you. You have to teach me that vegetable stew recipe when all of this is over. You're sure Anatoly will remember that. And my relationship strengthens with him. I don't want to do what I think I have to do. This book is a great distraction. Very well written. Oh. You get the hint and leave Anatoly to himself. I don't think any of us can take this much longer. Gregor's voice starts to crack. I don't want to ask this, but it's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food. Everyone is silent. I'll go. But Maria! I used to swim all the time near my house, so I probably have the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters. No! Let me go instead. You won't get very far if anything happens to your glasses, Anatoly. You're blind as a mole rat, remember? That's true, but... Little guy. Let me go. Gregor, Sounds good to me. Karen? His arms are definitely the longest, so he'd probably be the best at climbing trees out of all of us. No, that wouldn't be right. Gregor, let me go instead. I get that none of these options are good ones. He's crying? But we need to find food or help. Gregor grabs a branch from the wood pile. He cuts it into different measurements. Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand. And the shortest will go outside to search for food. You're not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths, so you can tell which is the biggest one of the branches. You pick it. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor? Anatoly? Karen? Will it be... Looks like I got the shortest. Maria. Maria. It's okay. Why does she look older? Or is that just me? I watched Anatoly forge earlier. So I'll know what to look out for. Just swim until you find higher ground, then scout the area. Maybe you'll find a fish out there. Everyone looks heartbroken. She's not gonna come back, is she? Karen, Anatoly, Gregor. I'll keep us alive. I promise. Why am I so sad about this? She promised. Everyone watches as Maria leaves the cabin. Why did I have to be the jerk that saw which one was the biggest piece? The silence is deafening. Goodbye. Don't you say goodbye! Door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is. And then silence. I'm sure we'll see her again. The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up waiting and waiting. The sun has completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. Dead to me? Wait. I don't want that! You get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. Oh, come on. Two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the ocean. Her legs are strong. You can't get her into the oven. You curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until your toes are almost sticking in the coals. Yeah, there's gonna be a creepy image, I know it. You feel 4 hands on your shoulders, and both of them push you in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Screaming, you chase the two through the woods. Your burns chill with the wind. The guest looks behind her, and her eyes widen to see. Her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. Your fury rips trees out of their roots, soil from the crown, rocks from their pits. You've never been this angry in your entire life. Their stamina can't last forever. You're gaining on them. As you trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. You catch a glint of it. You catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if magic, the earth splits in front of you, creating a chasm of fire below. You fall into the pit screaming as your eyes begin to sizzle from the heat. Hellfire fills your lungs. You're unable to scream anymore. You awake in a cold sweat. Oh, what the that gets me every time! It's been a week now. Okay. This is where I am saving the game. Oh my god, so much creepy stuff has happened. What do these dreams mean? Oh my god, okay. So clearly, I'm living through a hell. I don't understand it, but I am. If you guys enjoyed the video, come back again tomorrow. My voice doesn't hurt so much, So maybe I'll be feeling better by tomorrow and be able to do more. Oh god, this is so freaky. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. I don't know. This game is so fascinating. It creeps me out. I don't know what's going on, but I want to. I'll see you guys back.